Hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. Welcome to Mahali Mzuri at Lare Motorogi Conservancy. We just had some rain, and I think that's what a little bit of networking here. So that's why we had like a 3 minutes delay. Sorry about that. Welcome to our safari. We are right in the middle of the conservancy, so we're going to drive around and to see what we can find around. My name is John Kylo. Welcome to Mahali Mzuri. So with me we have Gideon, who is a videographer. So he's going to show us around and see what we can see. This is lion country, and at the moment it's a perfect temperature for them to be out. This is a perfect temperature. I'm just looking around to see whether there is any prey around, because this will be the ideal time for the lions to hunt. There's normally a pride of lion in this area with 3 males around. So we're just going to drive around to see if we can see one or two at the moment, because this is the time it's cooled down, so they'll be up and looking around, reading the menu, and also looking for one another if they'll be sleeping in or lying down in different areas. Also, Gideon have just spotted one male, so I'm just going to position the vehicle in. Wow, that's the king of the jungle. Wow, that's a beautiful male. By looking at his mane, is really beautiful. He's a king of the jungle. To be a king, also, there is a price to which come around with it. There is also a risk to be the king, because every other male, if a young male is mature enough, he is ready to fight. And if another male, an intruder male, come around and find you, there is always a fight between you. So to be a king, it's nice to be a king, but also there is a price that comes with it. There's also a risk with it, because sometimes young males can be like 4 or 5 of them. And if you are alone, like him, lying down, can result to a serious fight. But he looked like he's still very strong, so he doesn't care who is around. He's very strong. He's ready to fight with anybody. So the rest of the pride will be somewhere around. We're just looking around if we can spot them, because they'll be out in the open areas now, looking for the food. So if you look at him, the man is a little darker. That can tell that he's an elderly male. If you look at, he's a little bit much more darker. That tells that he's a mature male. He doesn't have to worry anything. You know, he lie down. He's using a lot of senses now. He got very good sense of hearing. So even when he's lying down there, he's listening if he can hear the rest of either his brothers or the rest of the pride. So he's lying down there. He looked like he needs some food. He needs some food. So today he needs the females to be around, so that the female, which they normally do more of the hunting. They're very likely to find him, because with this area, the long grass, and you see how camouflage he is with the long grass around here. He just found like a little patch of grass where he's just lying down to listen. So he'll be here for a while until maybe the rest of the brother start calling, then he can respond, or the rest of the pride will start calling. There are normally around 2 females here that we reckon that they have 2 cubs. And probably that's one of the main reasons why he's hanging around here, to take care of his little cubs. Yeah, that's a bird making a warning call. He's just warning other predators, other prey, that there's a lion around. That's sometimes what we can tell if there is any predator around, by hearing the birds warning. Sometimes jackals make a warning. Yeah, so you can tell whether there is a predator around by listening at the bird making a call. This area, we call it Olempalagai. It's named Olempalagai because of a certain grass that grow in this area. So that's why it's called Olempalagai. Lions are like vantage points. So in this area, when he goes up here, it's like a little raised land. So he can see like miles away. He can tell if there is prey coming to feed on or to drink water, and then they can stalk in and go for it. Right now, he's just lying down. He kind of knows the time when the female will start calling, and then he can either respond or he can start slowly walk towards where the females are calling. So I'm just going to drive a little bit around so that you can see his face. He's the real king of the jungle. Look at those eyes. Wow, this is a beautiful male. Oh, handsome. You see, the male actually play like two main reasons why the lions have the mane. One is for dominance. The other one is it's actually act like a shield when the lions are fighting. Now the lions have very long canine, and one bite can really easily kill the other one. But the hair, the mane, is there to protect the skin and the flesh. So they can really try to bite one another on the neck, and because of the hair, they will not penetrate into the important organs. King of the jungle sleeping. This is what the lion do best. He can sleep like 20 hours a day. It's amazing how he can completely ignore us. It's like we are not around. Just breathing.
This guy looks like he's one of the Dick Pride males. This is Lekiti. Well, Leray has been missing for the last few days, but I think this is Lekiti. The rest of the pride have been spending a bit of time around here, but I think they may not be far from here.
Yeah, so Lekiti is just lying down here. He knows exactly where the brother is. Later on, he will call and his brother will come, or he may walk towards where the brother is. Maybe the brother is with the rest of the pride. And Lekiti probably was off trying to hunt or drink water somewhere. And the heat of the day caught him before he reached to where the brother is. So he decided to lie down in one of the croton bushes here. You can see behind him. And that's where he spent like the whole day sleeping. Yeah, lions are amazing creatures. You see them, we tend to say that male lions don't do hunt, but they do. If the females go after big stuff like a buffalo or eland, something that need more power, they normally join in and hunt and help the rest of the pride. But what happened? They are not very streamlined like the females are. So normally they spoil the hunt when they try to go hunting. Because they are men, the animals will see him before they see the females. So most of the time they kind of know that they will spoil the hunting. So they prefer if they don't join the hunt. Unless when the female caught of big stuff where they need his power. By looking of his nostril, which normally what you can tell the lion age, he's a mature male. He must be between 8 and 10 years old. Because by looking at the lion nostril, that's when you can tell the age. It's pretty much black nostril. When they're young, when they're below 6, they tend to have like a pink nostril. So it's roughly between 7 to 10 years old. And also the men, as they age, the men get darker. There's always like what you call cat flies. If you look way between his hind legs, you will see there's a lot of flies. That's actually to clean the lion's skin. If there's any removing out the dead cells. So it's those flies that's their work, to clean out the lion's skin. If you look at his face, you can tell he's not been on a fight for long. Normally for a male, after the fight, you'll see like he got like scratches around the eyes, on the face. Sometimes can have like very deep wound. But looking at this male, he has not been on a fight recently. He's very smooth. You can tell that he's hungry by the way you look at his stomach. He's like little. Its stomach is not as full as when they eat. So he's definitely hungry male. So tonight, the female might do something to feed his king. Because their main thing is to protect the territory. So the female always want to make sure that the male is strong enough to protect the cubs and territory. So sometimes when they kill a wildebeest or something like a warthog, the female don't really struggle to fight a lot. They let him just eat, because they know their work is to protect. Although they fight, the male will fight them out, but the female will easily give up and just let him feed. Even when they go for a big animal like a buffalo, they let the male have it with their cubs until they are almost full, and then the male will go back and lie down, and then let the female carry on feeding. This is a beautiful beast, king of the jungle, sleeping, pretending that we are not around. At night, they might roar, and they have a very deep voice. Their roar can carry up, especially now after the rain, it can carry up to 8 to 8.5 kilometers away. So the main reason why lion roar, there are two main reasons. One is to advertise their presence. The second is to call one another. And each pride will identify each other's call, so that they don't walk into a different pride, which might result to a fight. A beautiful creature. Welcome, David Matthews. I can see you too. I can thank you for the comment. Yeah, this is Olari Motorogi Conservancy. It's always amazing. Just to, I don't know where you can hear the hyena. This is the time the predators will start waking up. At the background, you might hear the hyenas roaring. This is the time they're calling one of the members of the clan, telling them it's time to read the menu and go for it. You know, these cats, most of them, they don't have like a sweat glands. So they depend on the temperature. When it's very cool, they're active. When it's very hot, they are very dormant. The same case, you know, hyenas. Hyenas normally taken as scavengers, but hyena actually do more hunt than lions. They are very serious hunters, and they're always more successful than lions because they hunt in a group. So a clan of hyena can be up to 20 hyenas, and they don't stalk the animals like the lion does. So what they do, they can chase, single out an animal and chase until they caught it, until they overrun the animal and kill it. Just trying to hear at the background, you know, you can also hear the impala. The impala are making like a noise, probably the male controlling the female, the harem group, or maybe they've seen a predator and they're warning one another, just like what the antelopes do. They all understand each other warning language. So that's why sometimes you find like all the impala, elands and zebra and wildebeest, they are all graze together and they all understand each other warning language. Yeah, the migration is on at the moment, but still in the game reserve, because at the game reserve they did burn the grass, and after this rain there is a lot of lush grass that grows there, so the wildebeest are just grazing around the game reserve. We have some few at the conservancy, but they're just rotating around the conservancy. But the majority of the wildebeest migration are still in the game reserve by the Mara River. So yeah, the migration is still on. So
yesterday I was in the Mara River, and there was like tons of thousands of wildebeest on the Mara Triangle side, and it looked like they are coming back. They are right very close to the border of Kenya and Tanzania, but they are heading into the central part of the National Reserve. So I suspect today there might have been massive crossings happening, and probably in the next couple of weeks they seem to be coming to the northern part of the Mara, whereby they might come all the way to Olari Motorogi. So the migration is coming back live again.
yeah, just as Dan can explain, the game reserve is actually miles away from the conservancy, so they are not around in the conservancy. He said that he was there yesterday. A majority of them are at the Mara Triangle. The triangle is the triangle because it's the Mara River, the ridge, the Olololo Syria ridge, and the border of Kenya and Tanzania. So they are actually making their way here. So they are coming. So very soon you will see them on the camera. We still have the resident wildebeest around, but in this particular area, there are very few that we have in there. Being a male lion, you know, most people are looking for a male lion. Sometimes we go like weeks without seeing them, and that's why you hear the car coming one of our also conservancy members, they are coming to join in to see the male lion. The male lions are very rare, and sometimes we stay like even months without seeing them. So when there is one in the vicinity, everybody will come to enjoy him because they are very lazy. They lie down in the bushes, and they stay like, especially when they are full, they can stay like for days without being seen. Sometimes, when they see a lion sleeping like that, it's almost hard to believe that it's really the king of the jungle. They have really big nostrils. Also, when they pant, that will help to cool. So the nostril also is for cooling, because they don't have like sweat glands like the way we do. King of the jungle. If you look at the male lion, the way he's structured, you see the front legs are much more powerful than the back legs. So the power of the lion is by the shoulders and the neck and the front legs. So when you see them when they're going off big stuff like buffaloes, you see sometimes they prefer if they lean actually and bring the animal down. You see them that they always go for a muscle, or sometimes around the neck, and lie down, so the animals will have the weight and eventually bring him down. It's a beautiful king of the jungle. Lions see things that we don't. They hear things that we don't. So when he's lying down here, he can hear things. He can actually hear if another lioness or lion sneeze, even in miles away. Or sometimes lying down, he knows exactly where the rest of the pride are. So eventually he will just wake up even without roaring to call. He can just wake up and start walking towards where everybody else is. So he probably had something and he put his head up. What a beautiful background. So it's just like an hour before the sunset. So we probably just going to drive around and see if we can find the rest of the pride or something else we can see. Okay, enjoy the view. He's just up. He probably had something. maybe the hyena that was calling before is approaching all, or he had the rest of the, female roaring. Or he can see, they can see like miles away. So he's like focusing on one direction, probably seeing something. So we're just going to spend a little bit some time to see if he might wake up and start walking the direction that he's watching. Because also from miles away he can detect if they see like a weak predator. I'm just going to drive around so that you can have like a best view of the face. Oh, that's a beautiful yawn. Look at those scary yellow eyes. So we are going to spend some time with him and see, because he's getting a little bit more active, and he can take us to maybe where everybody else is. If you have noticed, normally lions have like 4 canines, but for him, when he was yawning, he missed 1 canine. Probably when he was hunting, when he was killing, or sometime when he was fighting, they sometimes lose their canines by fighting, or when they go for a big prey, like buffaloes who can also fight back. He's up. What a beautiful creature. Oh, what a stretch. When he's lying down, you actually cannot tell the size. So when he's up and start walking, that's when you can tell the size of a real lion. Just walking past us, probably going to mark territory behind our car. So I'm going to follow him a little bit and see. See them sniffing on the ground, sometimes to find out if the female has been around, or if the rest of the pride have been around, or just looking for a vantage point where he can see miles away. See how camouflaged he can be in that grass. Like when he put his head down, sometimes it's difficult to see him in those long grass. This is the king of the jungle. He's still looking out the same direction, probably seeing something. Or he kind of have an idea where everybody else, so it's like looking around if somebody is coming to join him for tonight. Normally when he's like that, looking around, it's not long before he start like calling. He's a little bit more anxious now, looking around. If you've noticed that the ear have like a black marking, that's what the lion use actually to communicate among themselves, especially when they are hunting. That's like a sign language. They move their ears in a way that only lion understand. Sometimes, it means like go around, or sometimes lie down, or sometimes attack. He's now looking a different direction. You can tell, the way he's focused. Most of these animals that actually feed on meat, they tend to have their eyes like in front of their face. Different from those who feed on grass. They tend to have their eyes on the side. The one that has on the like the eyes on the front side, they have very, very good vision. Better compared to the one that have the eyes on the sides, like the wildebeest, the zebra, like all the antelopes. This is amazing, what people are missing now during this pandemic time of COVID-19. We're just hoping that this thing will end so that you come and enjoying now with us. You can hear a bird calling at the background. It's also almost time for them to go to bed. And also almost time for the nocturnal to come to be active. Like frogs, you can hear them maybe you may not, but there are frogs now calling, the crickets are calling. Okay, now that we are going to drive around and see if we can find anything else, we let him have his best evening and enjoy his lonely life before he joins the rest of the family. So we are going to drive and see what else we can find. Bye, King. Just after the rain, most of the animals are very active. Wildebeest and zebra will be very happy because they like the new shoots. Things like the buffalo, they'll be very happy after the rain because they'll be loud, wallowing on the mud, which helps them to cool. Mahali Mzuri Conservancy is one of the very best places for the giraffe because the giraffe like these lush acacias and they are evergreen, so they always have plenty of food around here. Beautiful background, a beautiful cloud right in the middle of the conservancy. Probably the light is not as good now because it's just very cloudy. Yeah, it's very cloudy, so the light is not maybe favoring us. You might find it's a little bit darker. So we are just driving around to see if we can see something else. In this grass, this is a very good place where where cheetahs can hide, especially if they have little ones. They like hiding in the long grass like this. As you know, cheetah cubs are very vulnerable. Even eagles can go after them. But when they are little, nature has made them look like the honey badger, which is a very dangerous, very aggressive animal. So most of the animals, the other animals, will leave the honey badger alone. So nature has stand there like the baby cheetah, look like the honey badger for safety. But with this long grass, they look just like grass, so eagles will not really differentiate them, which sometimes eagles can go after them. So eagles will not differentiate them from the grass. Beautiful grass for the grazers. This is actually what the wildebeest are coming for. When the wildebeest come here, they come to enjoy this lush grass. And around the conservancy, as you know, that Olare is a salty area. So this area has a lot of salt on the ground. So when they come here, they get plenty of grass and the salt. So this will be like a paradise to them. This area, lions will love this area best because with this long, they can very easily sneak into a warthog. They can very easily sneak into like a herd of impala. As you can see, they are very similar color. So the lion can hide it. They can hide in this area so well, and they can sneak into a group of and bring them down. Same case with a leopard, which we also have them around, only that we haven't been in the area. But this is also one of these long, big trees. These big trees is where they can hide during the day. They can climb up there and look around. In the vicinity, actually, we just found like a big herd of buffaloes. I'm just going to drive right in the middle of them so that you can enjoy them. There is one of them looking very weak. One of the young calf here is very weak. This is one of the buffaloes that the lions can go for. You see, he's looking much more lean. He's looking like scruffy, looking very weak. This is the one that even hyenas can go after him. But normally, a big herd like this will really protect themselves. They will all gang up and protect their weak ones, their babies, their old ones. Even a blind one, a big group like this, even a blind one will survive in a group because they always help one another. They lead one another on the way. They lead one another to the water holes because the buffalo is an animal, is a daily drinker animal. It's an animal that cannot do without water. So wherever you see a buffalo, you just know there's water around. So I'm going to drive a little bit into the group so that you can see the big males, because a big group like this is comprises of young males, young females, babies, and older females. Normally the old males will be in the vicinity, but eventually they'll get out of the group because the young males keep on chasing them around, and eventually they'll go away from the group, and that's when they are very, very dangerous. As you know, this is the second most dangerous animal we have in Africa. But in a big group like this, they are not very dangerous. Even when you are walking, they will run away. But when they are very old and grumpy, they tend to be solitary, and that's when they are very, very dangerous. There's always birds following them as they move around. They spook these little insects. So the birds will be feeding on the insects. And also there's another bird called an oxpecker, which only feeds on the ticks that are on the buffalo. So when you see birds flying around, some of them are to feed on the grasshoppers or little insect they spooked as they walk around, or they are feeding on ticks that are on their buffalo ear or under the tail. If you look at them, Some of them, they have all different horn formations. The more it curls, the older they are. The more straight horns are the young ones. And also size can tell. You know, the bigger ones are old ones, the small ones are the babies. This is what sometimes the pride of buffalo can go for. Even though it results to a big fight, because they always fight back. So that's like a young mom with a calf is enjoying chewing the cuds. This is the time they are having fun, you know, having all this long grass. They are enjoying. There's also plenty of water around, so they don't have to go by the river. There's a lot of, after the rain, there's a lot of like little water holes where they can wallow, where they can, and also go for the long grass. So they're happy creatures around the conservancy. It's also a big source of food of lions here, because sometimes, you know, they also can suffer from diseases. So they die of diseases, and the lions will get an offer. Lions, hyenas, and the vultures will enjoy. Yeah, once again, welcome to Mahali Mzuri Conservancy. Welcome to Mahali Mzuri. I hope you have enjoyed the view. Ciao.
Right, bye bye everyone.
Bye bye. See you.